Hi, my name is Elizabeth McNulty, and for my fifth book critique, I chose to focus on the Newbery Award-winning modern fantasy book, The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DiCamillo. This particular book could probably be used for many different age groups, but I will be using it for a fifth grade lesson specifically. This book is one that I always found so fun and exciting as a kid. It tells the tale of a mouse known as Despereaux Tilling who sets out on a great adventure to rescue a princess who happens to be human from other rats. This book is also really cool because of the way it is set up, which is a little bit different from traditional books. There are 4 different parts, which each provide a different perspective about the story from various characters. For this book, I decided to do a social studies and a writing lesson. For the social studies lesson, I would ask the students to get into small groups and together create a scrapbook online using a website called Cliptomize. The students will be asked to devote a few pages to each of the 4 parts of the book where they will include pictures and quotes that adequately portray the journey that Despereaux embarks on. Once they have finished their scrapbooks and are happy with the results, I would ask them to actually send their completed scrapbook to the author, Kate DiCamillo. This way, they have the opportunity to interact with the author herself. Here is a link to an example scrapbook I created using Cliptomize about the Tale of Despereaux. And here is a photo of the cover of the example scrapbook that I made. For the writing lesson, I would ask the students to pick one of the characters from the book and write a short, creative story about that character, which details their background and how they got to where they are in the story. After they have completed their individual stories, I will ask them to share their stories on a blog so that all of the students can see each other's stories and read through them. The other books that I chose to focus on were The Invention of Hugo Cabret, Eleanor Roosevelt, March Book 3, and finally, Anansi the Spider. The Invention of Hugo Cabret is a historical fiction Caldecott Award-winning book written by Brian Selznick. This book follows the adventure of Hugo Cabret, who does everything he can to fix an automaton that survived a fire that killed his father, in hopes that it will reveal some sort of message he thinks may be from him. It would be a class favorite, I'm sure, because it is full of adventure and surprises that would certainly keep the students engaged. Eleanor Roosevelt is a biography and award winner written by Russell Freedman. This book does a really good job of detailing the life of Franklin Roosevelt's wife, Eleanor Roosevelt. It takes the reader on a detailed and emotional journey from when Eleanor was born to when she becomes First Lady in the White House to when she dies. After reading this book, it is easy to see why she was so beloved by our nation. As a reader, you are able to see all of the amazing things she was able to do for people and for the world. This book, and learning about Eleanor Roosevelt in general, would be great for students learning about historical figures and their impact on the time period that they lived in. March Book 3 is an informational book, award-winning book written by Andrew Aden and John Lewis. It details specific orders, reforms, and protests that surrounded the civil rights movement. This is a very descriptive, detailed, and factual book about a crucial time in history, and would really help students obtain a better grasp on the time period. Finally, Anansi the Spider is a multicultural, Caldecott Award-winning book written by Gerald McDermott. This is a really cool book that uses traditional African symbols and motifs to portray the story of a spider who is considered a great hero. He embarks on a journey where he is saved from various trials by his sons. This is a great book to introduce a different kind of culture, the African culture, to students. Thank you for listening. That's it for my 5th book set.